Hey y'all, so let's talk about loneliness when you're with somebody. And I don't mean in a relationship, although that can happen too. I recently got rid of somebody who I've known since I was 18. It's a long time to know somebody. But he has been pretending to be a nice guy for many, many years. He's good at it. He manipulates the hell out of people. He's a narcissist, and they are very good at manipulation and leading you to believe that they're this, that, and the other when they're so not any of those things. And in retrospect, one of the things that I don't think I've talked about too much on this channel is when you are with somebody in their presence, it could be a platonic friend, it could be a so called buddy, whoever, a relative, whoever, okay? But you feel alone while you're with them? That's a bad sign. That's a real bad sign. And when you're in the middle of something, and I've talked about this a lot, when you're in the middle of something with someone that's not good, okay, you don't always get a clear picture until you're no longer with them or you cut them loose. Especially when you cut them loose, you cut the strings. I'm no longer connected to you. That's it. I'm done. All of a sudden, the fog is off your eyes and you can see things that you didn't necessarily see before. And one of the things that I noticed in retrospect that I noticed it at the time, but I think I chalked it up to he's just weird. He's just really weird. But then in retrospect, I know that that is a disconnection on purpose because narcissists cannot connect to you at all. They can marry you, they can stick babies up in you, they can marry you on the beach at a beautiful sunset. And your wedding pictures are the most beautiful thing that anyone has ever seen. That don't mean nothing to a narcissist. That's just pomp and circumstance. And we've talked about that before. But even somebody who's just supposedly just a friend, they can be narcissists too. And you maybe don't know who they really are until you cut them loose. You're just tired. You don't like they take the mask off, right? We talked about this many times. They take the mask off. Once they take the mask off, they reveal who the hell they really are and they say whatever the hell they've been wanting to say for years. Okay. Lee Hammock is a self-aware narcissist and I have the utmost respect for him because he's not a punk ass bitch. He has no problem going to therapy. He's been in therapy for 7 years. He has no problem going to therapy for the rest of his life it's a disorder. It doesn't disappear. It will be with him forever. But therapy makes it easier for him to communicate with people and he is the man, okay? He has apologized to people that he has wronged in the past. He's apologized to all of them. Narcs don't freaking do that, okay? So I commend him, and I've always said that. I commend him greatly for being a real man and taking responsibility for how his behavior has affected other people, including his wife and including his children. But yeah, I remember, I was doing something really, I was going for a walk on the beach, and I had some kind of injury that I was recovering from. And walking in the beaches on the sand is real good for your legs and your behind. It's good for all those muscles, and because it's not easy to do, all right? Especially if you have shoes on, which I did have shoes on because I don't know what's on the beach, and I don't want to cut my feet, and I'm not gonna go barefoot. And I just wanted to experience the beauty. And every time that I went for a walk on the beach, I was visiting, East Coast. Every time I was with him and, I was visiting up there, like I said, and I wanted to go on the beach, go for a walk. He's like, well, I'm taking a nap. Because they cannot enjoy the beauty with you. They're not connected. They're never connected to you. Never. Never. You understand that word, right? Never connected to you. I don't care if you have one long, this person is your husband and y'all been doing it all night long and you're both exhausted. That don't mean nothing to a narcissist. That's just like going to the gym. You work out, it's over, you don't have a connection to the gym. Hopefully you take a shower, get all that sweat off of you, and then you're like, whatever, and you sashay to the car. Well, your friends can do the same thing. They're not connected to you. They're not going to share the beauty with you. They're not going to you go to the restaurant and eat. They're not going to tell you, "Oh, my food is just so good. I wish I'd ordered this chicken last time we were here because this is really good." There's no real connection whatsoever. And any time they're in a situation where they feel that a temptation for like it might get weird, like they're expected to connect, they disconnect even more because that's weird for them. They don't like kissing, they don't like looking in your eyes. If you're involved with them romantically, if it's just a friend, if you go out to eat, they're not looking at you. Are you enjoying your meal? That looks real good. That salad looks real good. No, baby. No, baby. No, baby. There's no connection. You would be better off going out with a mannequin or a statue. Okay? They have zero connection to you. Zero connection to you. No connection at all. And like I said, there's a couple of times, several, I don't know, like 3, 4 times I walked on the beach and the beauty is just unbelievable. In Martha's Vineyard, the name of the beach is called Philbin Beach, and I'm sure you could see it on YouTube. Beautiful beach, okay? And it's right there on Martha's Vineyard, Philbin. I think Philbin is spelled Philbin. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but it's a beautiful beach. And let's see. What is the name of that stone? Oh, I can't think of it. It's a shell and it's purple. And I love it so much. I love gems and that type of thing. Well, on that beach, I found some of that purple. I can't think of it right now. It's going to drive me crazy. Well, anyway, I was so excited that I found that purple shell. People make jewelry out of it. It's so beautiful. And I had to enjoy the excitement by myself. Because if I were to say, look what I found, and I got this for free, I didn't have to pay for this, okay? He wouldn't even look at it, and he wouldn't look at me. I swear to you, it's the weirdest thing. And I'm being, if I'm going to be honest with myself, when I look back at that situation, I remember, you're going to hear Milo snoring in the background, which is so cute. I don't know if you can hear him, but anyway, he's so cute. If I'm honest with myself, I realized that there were several times that I was in his presence and I felt lonely. And I felt, to a certain degree, I felt sadness. So what I would do is quickly distract myself with something else. Like, you know what? I'm going to admire the colors in the water and I'm going to find some of this shell. I'm going to find the name of it and I'm going to put it in the description because that's going to drive me crazy. It's an empty feeling when you are in the presence of somebody and there's nothing there. They don't look at you. There's no sharing of jokes and laughter. There's no connection. You know how you plug your TV in, okay? And you turn the remote, you use the remote, you turn the TV on, and boom. You got whatever you want to watch available at your fingertips because your TV comes to life. when you pick up the remote and turn it on. There's no remote for people like that. There's no remote. There is nothing you can do. There is nothing you can say. There's no joke that you could say that's going to make them laugh and come to life. It is like dealing with a dead person, but they're still walking around. It is the creepiest, weirdest thing. You know, I remember one time it was chilly. We were on the island and it was chilly and it was rainy. It was like misty and I was a little chilly. He had a jacket on. Do you think he offered me the jacket? Why would he? You can't offer somebody something when you don't even see them standing there or walking next to you. You don't see anything because you're just disconnected. It's like unplugging your TV. There's nothing. It's weird. You know, I feel a lot. And there's disadvantages. There's advantages and disadvantages. I'm the complete opposite of a freaking statue. The advantage is when you feel on a grand scale. I have been with people and we were connected and we would crack jokes and I would laugh so hard I'm begging them to stop because I can't breathe anymore. I've laughed so hard I can't breathe. And of course they get worse, right? Because that's what people do. If I die of a heart attack, it's your fault. So I feel things on a grand scale. I'm the complete opposite of a dead person. You know, the flip side and the negative side of that is when somebody does you wrong, you feel that too. And you feel that on a grand scale as well. Okay, so you feel the good things big and you feel the bad things big. Okay. But again, in my previous video, I talked about decompression and how you have to decompress from all of that stress. You just got to do it. You got to give your mind and your body a break. But to be a dead person, walking around, I don't freaking want that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. And I've talked about this many times because it's so amazing. You know, I used to go to Truman Lake all the time, which is part of the Lake of the Ozarks, okay? If you look on Lake of the Ozarks on a map, it's man-made, but it's massively gigantic. Do you understand what I'm telling you? It's massively gigantic, Lake of the Ozarks. And Truman is the beginning part of Lake of the Ozarks. And it's the beauty is just unbelievable, you know. And I was coming back from Truman at one point at night, and I turned this corner and I was getting ready to go over the bridge, okay? And the beauty of nature literally took my breath away. I came around the corner and I saw the sun was behind the trees, and the trees were a silhouette, a shadow in front of the sun that was setting, and the reflection was off the water, and it was just the most beautiful thing. So when I came around the corner, I'll never forget this as long as I live. I came around the corner and I went, because the beauty literally took my breath away. I can't imagine, nor do I want to imagine, walking around and feeling nothing. Now, some narcissists feel, but they feel rage and they feel anger and they like to break things. Your favorite vase, crystal vase that your mother got you, they take it and throw it across the room and bust it up in 1,000 pieces. Some of them are very notorious for that. But so far as a real connection with you and being human, nah, they ain't gonna do that. We went to the island and he's a freaking dead person. And I'm going to tell you something else. Honey, I flew to New York back when we used to go to the island. I flew to New York and then we drove from he picked me up from LaGuardia Airport, and then we drove to Woods Hole, Massachusetts. And from Woods Hole, you get in line with your car. There's this platform where you wait, and you could drive your car on the ferry, and it takes 45 minutes to get across to the Martha's Vineyard. Okay, you just stay in your you don't stay in your car, you drive your car onto the ferry, and then you know you get out of your car, and then you go upstairs to the ferry, and then you could do whatever you want to do, get something to eat, get something to drink, get you some coffee, whatever it is that you like to do. Or you could just stand out by the railings and watch the water or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a cool experience. And there's no connection. And I remember we had an argument in the car because the narcissism had popped out. And I almost forgot about this. And he was so disconnected and so uncaring that I climbed into the back seat to get away from him. I did. And because he's a dead person, aside from being angry when you don't agree with him, because his way is the right way, I hope you know this. Get the freaking hell out of here. A normal person would not piss you off to that extent because they care about you, number one. Number two, a normal person would not want you to sit in the back seat. They'd be like, hey, listen, we got a long drive, and I don't want you in the back seat. First of all, a good person who's not a dead person, a healthy person, is going to sense that you're getting irritated, or your tone is changing, or your facial expression is changing. And they're going to pick up on that, and they're going to comment on it and say, hey, what's going on? Did I say something to make you mad? Why are you doing that? Why are you getting irritated? What's wrong? They're going to pick up on it. They're not going to let it build and build and build and build to the point where you don't want to be anywhere near them. Healthy people don't do that. They don't want you upset. They don't want your body language to change where you're crossing your legs away from them and you're sitting there staring out the window because this is the last place I want to be with someone like you. And I don't want to fight and argue. This is a long-ass drive, so I'm just going to sit here, be quiet, and look out the window and not say a freaking word. Wow. Wow. Drastic difference between a healthy person and a sick person. Healthy people pick up on cues, social cues, and they know that you normally text back quickly and you didn't. Or you called them, the healthy person calls, and you didn't respond to your calls. And they know you're not at work. You get off work at 5 or whatever the situation is. You don't talk to them for 2 days because you were pissed off. And they're going to reach out to you. They're not going to sit there like a dead person. They're going to reach out to you and say, hey, I haven't heard from you. Did I say something to offend you or something? Because I've been texting you since yesterday. You're starting to worry me. Did something happen to you? Are you okay? Can you reach out to me and let me know that you're okay? If I upset you, please let me know. I didn't mean to upset you. Let's talk about it. That's what healthy people do. They don't sit there, shrug their shoulders, and whatever. They ignore you completely. I am so tired of dealing with sick ass people. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted with it. How hard is it to give a shit? Well, when you're sick in your head, it's very hard. It's impossible. Okay? It's impossible. And I had to cut him off. I can't look at the fact that we've had a long history as so-called friends for all these years when he wasn't even being genuine. He was trying to perpetrate something that he's totally not. And he's good at it. He's old enough now, he's old enough to learn how to manipulate people for long periods at a time. And when he senses that he's going to the crazy page, he's just going to not talk to you until he's back to being phony nice again. They know how to duck you so that you don't catch on to the fact that they're not as nice as they portray themselves to be. They're very sneaky. They're not as slick as they think they are, but in some cases they are because they have been doing this their whole life. They have been jacking people around their whole life and bullshitting people for a long time. So they get good at it. You've been a horrible person your whole life. You're good at it. You're real good at it, being horrible. Um, I'm glad the connection's over, but I'm here to tell you, I am here to tell you, come the holidays. It makes no difference what the holiday is, but especially big holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, that individual will resurface. Treated you like shit and will resurface like, ta-da, I'm back. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to respond to that. I don't give a damn what holiday it is. I'm not responding to you because you're a horrible person. And every time you call, your call goes straight to voicemail because you're blocked on my phone. Why don't you catch a clue? I don't do the hoovering thing. If you have been cut off by me, you worked for that. And baby, you earned it. By the time I cut your ass off, you worked so hard to be cut off, you finally succeeded. Okay, I hope you're happy now. Don't resurface like Jack in the Box. You remember the box? You turn the handle and it makes music and the dude pops out of the box, the metal box. No, we ain't doing Jack in the Box, all right? Home slice, we're not doing that. I have had friends for a lifetime. My best friend, the only reason we don't talk is because she's no longer here. She died. We would still be besties to this freaking day. And she was healthy. She's one of the rare people who's healthy, who's not a snake, who doesn't ignore people, who you feel like when you're in this person's presence, you are still by your damn self. We never went through that. Never, not one time. Never went through that. She don't operate on that level. Okay? She should have cloned herself before she left me so that there's other girls out there because God knows I ain't never met nobody like her. Okay? She is a 1 in a million, for sure. And we've known each other for double digits years, and never in my life did I have to feel like I was by my damn self. If I'm going to be lonely when I'm in your presence, I'm going to be by my damn self because it's the equivalent of being with you any damn way. You're supposed to feel happy when you with somebody. Oh, excuse me for what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me that you should be connected to the person you're spending time with? What the hell is wrong? Look, what is my problem? I mean, come on. You know, if you're going to be alone, be alone. The beach is gorgeous. Okay. There was one time, and I told you guys this, I was walking on Philbin Beach because I love it. The beach is my happy place. And I was walking, and I told you all this. I saw a gigantic seal on a rock, a big-ass rock in the middle of the ocean. Like, boom. He was a big seal, and I've never seen a seal. Let me think. Have I? I've seen seals, but very rarely, right? In person. Very rare. So I see this thing on top of the rock, and I'm like, wait a minute. Is that a seal? Yes, it was. And so I talked to him or her, and I said, hi, baby. And the seal lifted up his head and looked at me, and I was so tickled. It is a seal. I was just so excited. So when I did this really long walk, which was not easy, okay? When I came back, there was a photographer there with he's got the tripod and the professional equipment and this, And I told him, I said, I've got the perfect photo opportunity for you. When you go around this corner here, there's a big, huge seal on a rock. If he's still there or she is still there when you get there, that's a very good photo opportunity. He goes, thank you, I appreciate that. Now let me ask you this. Do you honestly think that had I been with Statue, do you think I could share that excitement with him? That would be a no, all right? Absolutely no. There would be no response. There would be no, what? Really? That's cool. No, baby, no, baby, no, baby. There would be nothing. No acknowledgement at all. No response at all. No facial expression at all. So anything that you experience that's fun or exciting or breathtaking, you got to keep that to yourself. That person doesn't care. That person doesn't care. Narcissists are dead. They like to raise hell because they're demonic. They like to raise hell. They like to fight. They like to argue. But so far as connecting with you, you have to be healthy to do that. You got to be psychologically and mentally healthy in order to connect with someone. Okay. You call Betty Sue and you say, hey girl, what you doing? Nothing. You want to go for coffee at our favorite spot? Hell yeah. What time? What's good for you? You're excited. You want to spend time with this person. You look forward to spending time with them. You meet them at the shop. You got a big smile. Hey, what's up? It's good to see you. Oh, I love that shirt on you. Where are we going to sit? Let's sit by the window. Okay, cool. It's a beautiful day. Sure, let's do it. And you talk about whatever's been happening in your life recently. And it's a fun time. And then you have eye contact with each other. What the hell? I know, right? That's weird and creepy. You actually look at the person's freaking face. You laugh. You joke. You share stories. Okay? You may walk down memory lane. Remember back in the day when we did such and such? Oh my God, I can't believe we did that. That was crazy. What were we thinking? All right? It's a good time. That's how it's supposed to be. It should not be, I feel alone with you. I feel abandoned by you. If I fall down and hurt myself, I'm on my own. I have to ask a stranger to help me because your ass can't do it because you're a fucking statue. Okay? You're a statue. So if I twist my ankle, sucks to be me. So then you have to ask yourself, look at all the bad behavior and how it's getting worse and worse and worse. How bad do you want it to go before you say, that's it, I gotta sever ties? I don't give two damns how many years we have with each other. I don't care. I care as much as you care about me. Zippo. So I gotta pull the scissors out and cut you loose. Set you free. Because if God wants somebody healthy in my life, and I have asked him for years, he don't work on our time. He works on his time, okay? I've been asking him to send me healthy people. And I'm possibly it's happening right now with the friend that I've talked to pretty much every day. We clicked. I didn't have to click with her, make an effort to click with her. She didn't have to make an effort to click with me. It was natural. And we have no problem looking in each other's face, and we have no problem responding to what each other says. We have no problem laughing at crazy things. We don't have a problem with that. I'm not a statue. She's not a statue. And you know what? It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love you guys. Take care.